every portal, defeat every foe. When you find me, you will find the key. I love you. Breathe in slowly. The smoke might burn your eyes. Listen closely. Tears won't help this time.
What up, gangsters?
Morning.
Hello. It's nice to see everybody here today.
Good intro today.
It's a nice intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, we jamming. We jammers. People mustn't roll up in here and underestimate our jamminess. Hey, cat!
Hi.
Hey, what up?
Morning.
Morning, afternoon.
How do you like the little the title screen, cat? Huh?
Very cool.
Operation Safe Place on the Fence.
On the fence.
The music sounds like it's breaking up. Is that my Wi-Fi?
I don't know. Was it breaking up for everybody?
No.
Well, I broke up with the music before it could break up with us.
Okay. No, it must be my Wi-Fi because your voice was going.
Well, Jesus is my shepherd, so I make sheep noises from time to time.
Oh dear. No, yeah, it must be the side. But oh, good. Now I can see and hear everybody, except I cannot see Ashley's lovely face. Just a dark circle. You getting ready, Ashley?
Yeah, I followed up my camera. I followed up last night. It's just the
Okay.
mail's slow over here for whatever reason. So they said to give it a couple more days.
Jeez.
Fair
America
enough.
with slow delivery. I thought that was the land of stuff, you know?
Well, like I
Things.
used to, I mail cards out to people, and it used to take like 2 or 3 days, and now it's taking over a week. So
Oh,
yeah,
Hmm.
I don't know what's going on.
They're so unprofessional. Ah.
And then they want to increase the price of stamps. So we'll keep mailing. It's snail mail for a reason, but it's fun.
Increase the price of stamps.
Hmm I know
That's
Amazon
funny.
should start a mail service.
I like that.
They should.
Yeah, for as much delivery
Yeah.
as they do, it probably
Yeah.
wouldn't be that hard to tag it on.
Yeah. Incorporate that. It's
Yeah.
true. It's true.
Where's Jeff? Where's Jeff? Let's ask him.
Jeff. Jeffrey.
Jeffrey?
So, I
So
think we
what
must
are we
talk
looking
about-
at today?
I don't know. I thought I'd let you guys talk about Operation Safe Place because you all seem so excited about it.
Yeah.
The NGO side of our game.
Whoop, whoop.
So we can start with Kat because she's the
What-
boss of us. Where's Christy, man?
Christy is
So-
somewhere
Christy can
else.
also-
I didn't.
it's someone
Yes.
in
She
the
can.
house.
I don't know where she is. She's somewhere else on her side of the house, I think. I think she might be going out soon, so I'm not sure. But I'll send her a little message while we
A
chat.
massage.
A massage. Yeah, so it's awesome. So anybody listening to this live feed now or later for the first time, Operation Safe Place is an awesome project that we do here at Overcomers and Breakthrough, and we look after these amazing kids who are very vulnerable in the holidays and in normal school days. They would be at school and the parents would be at work, and the kids would be looked after in during the school day. And we realized that during the school holidays, mums and dads don't always just have that option to take off like they do in first world and developed countries, where you would just get that leave and you would just take it off and paid leave, etc., etc. Some of these mums and dads don't have the option to take leave because they just won't get paid. So I guess for them, they have a difficult decision to make on like the lesser of the two evils. Do I leave my kid at home and see what happens if there's danger or what have you, or do I not go into work and then we all starve? So a lot of parents have that really difficult decision to make, and that means that a lot of kids are left at home. So a lot of children that we've worked with, they've been like, it's horrible. There's been like 8-year-olds looking after their little sisters and brothers who are like 3 and 2, and really heartbreaking, really, really moving. And so, you know, we were like, right, what can we do about it? And, you know, the team have been amazing. It's been something that's been on their hearts for years. And for the fact that we can look after these kids during the holidays and give them 3 meals a day and a safe place and fun and games and teach them about the Lord, and we do discipleship and we do leadership training, and these kids, what we're doing with them at the moment, I want to be able to say that I would hire them in my business, because we're teaching them things like honor and integrity and excellence, and do what you say you're going to do, you know, show up when you say you're going to show up. So I want to be able to speak to any business person in the whole of the area and say, you can trust this person, you can hire them because they have been trained by us, and, you know, you can count on them. So we're doing so much more than just keeping them safe. We're also, like, you know, trying to get them set up for their future, you know, getting favor and wisdom and, you know, everything. So it's amazing. And that's what we're doing. And our next camp is what date, maybe? 24th to the
24th of June. 24th.
24th to the 30th of June.
Yes.
Is that right? Yeah. So we've got it for a week, and we've got about 60 kids coming, and then we've actually got more than 60 coming on, because we're going to also have a little kiddies camp on the one day, which our older leaders are going to then practice what they've learned with the young ones. So the kiddies are going to come, and we're going to just show them a lot of love and a lot of fun, and I'm super excited about it. It's going to be great. Maybe what do you do? What do you and your team?
Well, I make sure that they eat. Oh, besides just that, we take care of the kids. We love them. You know, it feels like it's something that's natural, that's there in the world, that naturally parents love their children, but it's not that natural, especially in this side of the world. People give birth to kids, but that doesn't make them parents. So we are a community of parents to these kids, people that they look up to, who give them love, show them that they deserve to be loved, that they are worthy, you know, that they can grow, they are loved in this world. Because most of these kids are so broken, because where they come from, mom and dad just made sure that a child can walk on the earth. That's it. They're not taught, you know, even the basics that you think are the basics, that you think your child, it's a well-known thing. They're not. All of those things we're teaching to those kids, and they impact that on other kids as well, because in these communities there's a lot of drugs, because it's gangs, it's children, they're just in the streets. What else can I do? Let me just join that gang, and then the future is literally just destroyed before it even begins, because now there's nobody there to teach them better, to show them better, to give them a meal. Some of them, even the girls are not safe. They get into being paid by a guy so that they can get a meal, and they end up being in prostitution sometimes. And we are here to make sure that we keep those kids safe. So it's not just boys, it's not just girls, it's both boys and girls, but girls are more vulnerable in this side of the world because Africa is a bit unsafe, especially the males. The fathers are less in the side of the world. The men that are supposed to be acting as fathers to these kids are now the ones who are destroying those kids. So we are here to make sure that we protect as many kids as we can, and we would want to do this every single day of our lives because we were called to serve, to make sure we bring these kids into a community of love, to show them there are more, that they can do more, teach them more, give them more, that they don't just end in the location where they were born and grew up, that's it, there's no future for them. So that's why we are here, to make sure that there is a future for them, that they disciple other kids in the future, that they bring them to God and show them that there is another way, that they can be safe, that they don't have to be on the street, and they don't have to pay for their next meal, or suffer for their next meal, or do something that they don't have to do for their next meal. So we here right now, we're doing these camps during the school holidays, but our hearts are to do it every single day.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Whoop, whoop.
So,
Teary
Yeah,
eyed.
no,
so
it's amazing.
tell us,
And
Oh,
yeah,
you want to? I was going to ask Ash to just tell us why she's jumping in and getting involved. I mean,
where did
what-
this all start for me? Ugh. So it started back in corporate before the pandemic. I created a deck due to a toxic work environment, and it had dance songs woven through it. It was just my heart pouring out into a PowerPoint, and one of my favorite dances was "To Heal the World." So Michael Jackson, "Heal the World, We Are the World." It's USA for Africa. It's missionary work. It's keeping girls safe. It's hard enough on them as it is. And you popped into my feed at the right time when I wasn't in a good place. And here we are. It's 6 months later. So I've been connected to all these
Wow.
wonderful people. I've been in dance studios. The girls, I'm just on board with every girl safe. It's my experience has been a little rocky, and I'm just glad I'm in a safe place and here with all of you wonderful people. So that's what brought me here.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
so awesome. Nikki. So
Yeah,
awesome. And we blessed to have you helping out.
Do my best.
Yeah, I've got this excitement about the future of everything we're doing, because we just did a massive restructure in what we're doing with Operation Safe Place, which for people tuning in who usually see us work with the game, the Operation Safe Place game is inspired by what we actually do in real life and what we want to do. So at one point, we were well enough funded that we were doing activities most days, definitely every weekend, and every school holiday, the entire school holiday. And so we saw what it's like, and we saw we're capable of doing it, and we love it. But even though people are generous and stuff, it was very tough because you need a lot of freedom to do what we do, and you've got to be able to, like move off the cuff. So we had to reinvent our approach to Operation Safe Place. And we actually did a hard reset September last year, where we told all our sponsors and everyone, thank you for your generosity. But, especially in my case, there's just going to be misappropriation of funds nonstop. I mean, people would give us money for our house, Mandy and I's house, and we just pump it straight into Operation Safe Place. People would give us money for buildings, and we just pump it straight in there, and we just keep, hiring people and stuff. And we, after a while, I realized that I'm kind of becoming a kind of a liar, and you justify it in your mind. When you're trying to raise money for the infrastructure and taking care of kids and doing events and the staff that you need to take care of kids, but you're still going to prioritize humanity. And so people would stipulate funding, and it's special to them. They really want those buildings to be built and those things to be done. But it still goes through the filter of our passion. And I kind of got to the place where I was like, I think the right term is I specifically was starting to become kind of disingenuous in that I just couldn't do fundraising for Operation Safe Place anymore. Because it's just too much. It's just too much, I'll give you an example. Imagine you've got some money in your account and it's earmarked for something, and then you find out about kids who need this, or you've kind of done a compassionate hire. Who knows what a compassionate hire is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you hire people because you're giving them enough money to support their family for nothing. It isn't helping anyone. So you realize, okay, that person can make an impact in their community if they're rubbing shoulders with our team. So you hire them, and that's instead of donating money to them, you're kind of just having all these people trying to figure out, what to do. Like even missionaries around the world, I was like, the guy's not a missionary all day, every day. Let me just figure out, give him something to do. So you'd say, okay, I'm going to give you X every week. Now you must just be a designer for all those people, all those organizations. Just design something for them because that's your little gift. And you start to prioritize those people's salaries and stuff. And because people don't understand that, most people don't understand this. If you give a good person money, good things happen. So people often say they want the money to go straight to the kids, or they want the money to go straight to feeding, or they want the money to go straight to X or Y. But they don't understand that the bodies on the ground who are there for years are affecting that entire community, that they're helping the kids, and we help the kids whenever we can with food donations and stuff. But those people on the ground are the ones who got to do the feeding. They know who the manipulators are. They know who the people are, who the people are on the ground that they can work with, who the dodgy folks are. They know all those kind of things. So when you salary someone like that, you're basically buying them time to do what they would have done even if there wasn't money. They're just able to do it without being stressed now. Is this making sense so far?
Yes.
So I found that in all the fundraising we were doing, I would truthfully want to raise money for a, let's say, a building, right? And then I'll send out emails and stuff, say, hey, we need money for this building. So at that point, telling the truth, the money hits our accounts. Now we're excited about the building, but suddenly you've got all these people who need help. So you say, okay, I'll keep raising money for the building, because you kind of I don't know, in my naivety, you kind of think people think like you do and don't mind. but they do, because there are things that are special to them. So I realized that I just couldn't do that. So I changed my entire tack, and I said, okay, you know what? We're going to build these games so that if people want to give to us, they must give preferably as anonymously as possible, or if they're going to give as a known quantity, then no strings attached, no 501(c)(3)c, Section 18As, nothing like that, which we appreciate and honor. We've got those mechanisms, but because we would end up being liars under the pressure of taking care of so many people. So it's easier just to have our own business, the games, all the other cool things that we're doing that are a river where 10% of anything we do, minimum, that's just the direct marketplace revenue goes straight into those accounts. That is then the team's money. The team can do anything they like with it. We don't have to try and raise money, because the people who give you money are generally good people, and they want to see you do things with the money they give you that excites them. But when you're on the ground, it's hard, man. Like I remember once, there was this lady who, okay, I'm just calibrating my emotions so that I can just don't want to be a ninny and start crying on a live stream here. But she's so poor, so she gets raped by someone who's got AIDS. She has a baby. The baby does not have AIDS. She can't breastfeed the baby. She doesn't have money for formula. So all she can do is give that tea bags, put the tea bag in some water and put it in a bottle for that baby. Sorry. I don't know if it makes me more sad or more angry. So suddenly I'm not just worried about that lady. I'm thinking of every single possible lady who's in the same position. So I'm not going to try and find or buy one bit of formula. I'm going to buy as much formula as I've got money in the bank. In my personal account, in ministry accounts, because I'm suddenly aware of this nightmare. And what makes me so angry is when people say, well, then they should have aborted the baby. Stuff you, man. You weren't aborted. Take that argument somewhere else. You horrible. Oh, let me just calm down. Whether you believe in abortion or not, I really don't care. Once the baby's on earth, it's a human being. It's you. And anything I would have done for you, I'll do for that baby. Anything I would have done for the baby, I'll do for you. Our policy is not that's your kids or their kids. Our policy, it is our kids. Those are our children.
Yeah.
And so, the game itself is Operation Safe Place. If you look at all the baddies and everything, it's all based on the predators and the environments that produce places where the kids aren't safe. But so I personally am on a journey now. I'm obsessed with becoming a billionaire. Like the same vigor that I put into my NGO life from 16 years old to 49, turning 50, I've now taken that total focus. Mavis has come to know us. I'm just going to say me. She knows all of us, but in context of this conversation. So Mavis has come to know me for the past 4 or 5 years now. 5. Yeah, for 5 years. And Kat has known me for 20 odd years. 24 something years, Kat. And both of them can tell you that when I get focused, if I'm going to do something, you'll get to know that I'm going to do something. So I'm so
Yeah.
focused right now on becoming a billionaire. You know, I'm so grateful that we could hand all the NGOs and ministries over to Mavis, Kat, Christy, Jacques, you know, Ned and them that are joining soon, etc., etc. You know, I'm so grateful we can hand it to such competent people so that Mandy and I can just focus on game development, building this epic game studio, taking all our creative and logistics management capabilities and throwing heart and soul into these games. Because I never, ever in my life, ever again, ever want to beg anybody for money. I don't want people to feel sorry for us. I want people to be excited with us. People who resonate at our frequency. You say, like, when a baby enters this world, regardless of the why or how, that baby is our baby. And
Amen.
if that baby doesn't have a mom and a dad, we're the mom and the dad as much as possible. And we want to earn so much money and align with people who are so passionate with us, who, you know, there's 3 different levels of wealth. There's time. Some people have got a lot of time to give, and their time it's like invaluable. Like, you know, people like Kat and Christy, and so, you know, Kat and her husband, very successful people who just like sold everything, came and threw it into this vision. Mavis is a blooming chef-alon chef. What's that thing? Chef-alon chef. What? She's some, I'm getting the word wrong, like a flippin' top-end restaurant chef. I'm missing the word. My brain just Michelin. Yeah, you know, like yeah, like she's like a top-end chef, and she uses those skills to feed kids. When we've had budget, those kids have eaten 3-course meals. At one point, just about every meal we were doing was a 3-course meal for the kids. And we're talking a minimum of 100 kids at a time, you know?
Yeah.
So I never in my life ever again want a donation. I want people to partner with us who have got a long-term vision with us, who will put in time or energy or money, you know, energy, talent, like skills, or all 3 or 2 of the 3, or, you know, people who like us are obsessed with just getting rid of poverty. It's an obsession. Our entire team is like that. We are so driven, and, you know, people like, so, you know, just charity starts at home. Oh, that's dumb. Oh God, let me just charity starts at home. Do you know you limit your income by thinking like that? You got to think community. If you think community, your income potential, your capacity to take care of people expands dramatically. But when you say charity starts at home, you become a narcissist. You don't even realize it, but you start to justify your lack of faith, and then you start to judge other people for having faith. So like, when you're in community and you expand yourself to care about people on such a scale that it's overwhelming, after a while, that overwhelming feeling, it takes years sometimes, but that overwhelming feeling gets replaced with strategy and plan, you know, and hope and dreams. And you start to you have a reason to wake up in the morning. And it's a big reason.
Yeah.
You know, when we talk about money, you know, when I say I'm obsessed with becoming a billionaire, I don't see myself in a freaking Bugatti. You know, it's not with gold on it and stuff. When there's plenty of money, I'll probably have like a nice Aston and a nice motorbike. But when if my income, if 10% of my income justifies me having a lifestyle like that, I'll consider it. But my obsession is can we buy up all the property around us? Can we create these campuses where we can just adopt like 14,000 children into this environment where they're getting educated and loved and fixed and changed? Can we create this massive place where tens of thousands of kids are being fetched every weekend, every school holiday. Can we duplicate this with all our friends and partners around the world who do it in their regions? Like the South American kids who are also struggling, Indian kids are also. Can we put down what we're doing all over the world? Can we build the template here? That's what drives us, not just me. Can we dare to have that level of faith? Because when you only look after you, I'm a big fan of sorting yourself out, but you don't sort yourself out for you. You sort yourself out for everyone else. The moment you sort yourself out for you, you break yourself more.
Mm-hmm.
Because the more selfish you become, the more broken you become. Because you dwell on what hurt you, not why the hurt exists. All hurt has purpose.
Yes.
It can be purposed, is a better term, to help others.
Yeah.
Because when
Purpose
you
in pain.
weaponize your grief and you weaponize your pain, instead of utilizing your grief and utilizing your pain, you become narcissistic and you don't even realize it. You become selfish and judgmental and critical, and you've got a problem with everyone and everything, as opposed to saying, I've been through this. I mean, we work with people who have been multiple gang rapes, like nightmares. And they figure out how to use that nightmare they've been through to help other people. And then you talk to someone who someone talked to them in a tone of voice that wasn't nice, which is still painful, but they instead of utilizing that inner pain, because it's harder for some people, empaths really struggle with people being nasty to them, but then instead of utilizing that pain and using it and turning it to good and saying, you know what, I am going to create an environment for people who are very sensitive, and I'm not going to allow them to weaponize their pain. I'm going to encourage them to use that pain. So instead of saying that, they say, I'm not going to talk to anybody ever again. I'm not going to trust anybody ever again. And you run it through this me filter. And then you just get hurt worse and worse. And you isolate and compartmentalize. And you become a manifestation of your worst fears. Whereas if your entire, I am not here for me.
Yes.
Then that pain has purpose. That rejection has purpose. That rape has purpose. You give it purpose. You can say it didn't happen. It didn't enslave me. It happened to me, but it did not enslave me. I am not. The past is not my master. It is just my teacher. That the way you approach those things changes dramatically. So yes, we're building these games and stuff, but what the core of it is I'm making a game because I'm a gamer and I'm very creative. I'm a storyteller and a filmmaker and all those kind of things. But it is how I am raising the money to fulfill my function on Earth. And all of us have an altruistic function. I just refuse to believe that anyone who's on Earth is a mistake. I obsessively, fanatically, dogmatically believe that we were made on purpose by a God of purpose for a specific purpose.
Yes.
Amen.
Yep.
Today we were chatting to a dear friend who visited, and they've just been through something very traumatic. And I said, imagine this, at a certain point in my relationship with God, at a certain point, I said, not my will, but thy will. Anybody else here ever said that? Used those words, not my will, but your will, God.
Yes.
It's like you just lay your life on the altar. At that point, I gave up my free will gladly. I said, no need for me to choose anymore. I've chosen God and the will of God, and whatever you want, use me for. And at that point, and the Bible says the steps of the righteous are ordered by the Lord. So what happens then is he is going to take me. So there's this cool story about Joseph. And he takes Joseph. Now Joseph has this dream, God-given dream. And nobody around him understands that. And Joseph himself doesn't understand, because one moment Joseph's got this epic dream. Next moment he's thrown in a pit. The story of Joseph and his Technicolor Dreamcoat. So he's thrown in a pit by his own brothers. Then he's sold into slavery. Now he's walking in chains. He arrives in Egypt. He's put on a block. You know, when they put them on the block, you're naked, nothing but a little loincloth. And even that gets stripped away after a while when mistresses come to see if they, if they want what's standing there in its entirety. They check your teeth, like a horse, check your muscles. Imagine this young man going from dad's favorite. Dad's quite wealthy. They've got animals and, it's a big family. And so now he's in chains. He's on a slaving block, sold into slavery like a horse or a goat or something. And then he works in Potiphar's household. He's a very good-looking young guy. He's well built. He's from good stock family. And his master's wife wants her pound of flesh, but he's devout in his religion, in his service to God, and he doesn't want to do that. So she makes a move. He says no, and she throws a tantrum, rips his robe off. He runs out of the room. All the incriminating evidence is there. He looks guilty.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What happens next? He gets put in prison. So let's check out this guy's life so far with this big dream. Over the next, he's in his 30s. So when he's a teenager, so his kind of entire adult life is rejection, humiliation, betrayal. He's in slavery. Now he rises to power each time wherever he gets put. He becomes the head of that household because he has learned not to weaponize what happened to him, but to utilize what happened to him. And then he's in prison. Again, the guy rises to power in the prison because he's learned not to weaponize what happened to him, but to utilize what happened to him.
Yeah.
And from prison, in serving anybody who comes there. So he doesn't care who you are. He's going to take care of you nicely. And he serves some of the king's servants or the Pharaoh's servants. Those servants roll on back, and one of them gets, he gets killed for what he did, and the other one gets forgiven. And the one that's forgiven remembers Joseph. He remembers the guy's character. He remembers how the guy interpreted dreams for him. He remembers how the guy treated him. And because something very cool is the Bible says Jesus grew in wisdom and in stature and in favor with God and with man. We always forget the man part. We need favor with man. So Joseph had favor with man, and now they remember him. And the next thing, he's standing before the Pharaoh, and 1, 2, 3, Bob's your auntie. The guy's the chancellor of Egypt, which right now is the equivalent of coming out of prison and becoming basically the Minister of Finance for all of the United States of America. That's the equivalency.
Wow.
Now let's see what actually happened there. Imagine, so picture God as a planner, right? Long-term planner. He knows exactly what he wants to do with your life. And the moment you said, not my will, but your will, he says, okay, great. Listen, I need to get some things into you that are required for the dream that you have. I need to build a cog over there, and I need a chain over there, and I need some links in the chain, and I need to hammer the thing a bit. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to stick you in a furnace so that I can just melt a particular part of your character and reform it so that you can speak a particular way, change the way that you treat people. Because you might have been a little snot-nosed. If you grow up as a good-looking guy or a good-looking woman, you're going to go through a far worse experience. If you grow up popular or successful, you're going to go through a far worse, humbling experience in your life than just about anybody else, because humbling is necessary for authority. So hey, Marvy. So what Joseph goes through is all these cogs. So you might look at your life and see all this pain and stuff, but there's a little cog and there's a little bit of something that needed to be made, and it's all going to come together at a certain point to produce this version of you where you've leveled up in those skills and you've got this character there, and you've got this cog that's sorted out, and you can't see it all throughout your life, but it all comes together, and suddenly you're like, why is this assignment so easy for me? It feels like I just because all the crap you went through your entire life prepared you just for that moment. Because can you imagine teenage Joseph, who's dad's favorite, super good looking guy, player, ever becoming Chancellor of Egypt? Not a chance. So, I mean, my life I can utilize as a testimony. It's like my life, I had such bad luck with everything, even with good intention, that I had suicidal depression for 15 years. I've done everything you can imagine, and nothing worked. And now suddenly everything works, and I'm like, huh? Because all the cogs are there to do what we're doing now. All the cogs, all the failures produced wisdom and knowledge and understanding and skills and abilities, and here I am, like, able to communicate nicely. I don't look like a naughty, skinny little mechanic type dude anymore. I've got a beard, got a dad bod. Kids, been married to the same woman and a spleen. Married to the same woman for 25 years. I look like I actually know what I'm doing, but I didn't. I've just failed at everything. So Operation Safe Place for us is a long-term strategy, man, where we're with these kids and we're with them through all these journeys, and we want people who are on their journeys or at that pinnacle of their journeys to join us. Sorry, Kat's internet. But at least she's listening and commenting. So we want to be there for millions and millions and millions of kids, and we want people who are ready to jump in and help at different levels of expertise and knowledge and wisdom, and they climb in and they're like, well, it's not just a game, like all our key directors are so passionate about what we're doing. I'm talking about the game now. Not just the directors of the different NGOs. I'm talking about the actual game. Our directors are all altruistic by nature. All of us. If you have a conversation with Joey, he's so excited about Operation. He's more excited about Operation Safe Place, the philanthropic NGO side of things, than he is about the game itself. And he's very excited about the game and the financial rewards of the game. Same, and Rob, who the other majority director, he's I mean, his entire company just focuses on skills development, rural economic development through, I mean, his company teaches people so from scratch. If you can't read, they'll teach you to read, and then they'll teach you internet literacy, and then they'll start you on the journey to learning finance and learning how to do accounting so that you're able to have business and marketing knowledge. And then they'll ask you, okay, what else do you want to do? Because that is the foundation of success, and so we're all like so excited and passionate about making the world around us better that the game itself has got this pillar of altruism, and that means we draw the most wonderful people. Anyway, okay, that was my sermon, I guess.
It was really good. It was very good. I was thinking about today, just it kind of, I guess we're just in alignment for my own little segment about service, and there's service to self and service to others. And when they taught us in school, it's you can't have service to self unless you have service to others, or you consider the service to others. So it's like doing that full loop, so you don't become narcissistic and so self-focused that it's all about you. It's how do you loop in that community but still get what you need out of it? So I thought you just nailed it and went into depth and had a good story. So thanks.
Nice. Oh, there's
Yeah.
Meowvis. Mavis, you're so cool.
Thank you, Ray.
You are.
If you think Mavis is pretty on camera, you should see her in real life.
Oh.
Brings all the boys to the yard. She's very cool, eh? Yo, Mavis has got such awesome poise and grace. Well, she's only ever been nice to me, so I don't know about all the other sides of Mavis. How are the other sides of Mavis doing, Mavis?
The other sides, remember the one fired your assistant? I will never forget that one.
Yo, yeah. Yeah, at one point I had a very tactless assistant. Oh my word, that was a
Story time.
story time.
That's not an easy story.
So the challenge that I have is, okay, I'm a very intense guy. Let's just start there. And so if I hire like people around me, I expect them to be a buffer, not a magnifier of my intensity. I don't think I necessarily shout at people, do I? I think I
No.
just express my frustration. I don't know, hey Mavis?
You explain.
How
You
does-
explain. You
yeah.
express your frustrations for less than 5 minutes, and then it's over and done with. We move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You
then
say how you
some-
feel, but that's good.
yeah, but the problem is now you've got an assistant or a PA or whatever. I mean, Liska's the best that we've had so far, hands down, because I don't know.
Yeah.
She is very nice to people. Yeah. So
She.
I hope she is. Okay, thank God. so I'll like you'll see me. I go, this makes me so angry. Now, now, some people would take that and they'll again weaponize it, and off they go, and they'll say, you know, Rev says this, and then I'm like, what the hell, man?
Just took it to a whole new level.
Is that accurate, Mavis?
Yep.
Mavis doesn't take that nonsense.
Then you find maybe you hit a wall when you get to Maven.
Yeah.
Oh, good
And
to
then if
know.
I find out you speak to the staff like that, I'll fire you. I mean, why you speak to the staff like that? You know, don't misinterpret my frustration as like some kind of brutal, manipulative. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think some people just enjoy that. Like, I don't know. I think some people try to have your back or what? I don't know. I struggle.
I
Really.
also think it's an authority thing. Somehow we tend to not understand what being in authority is, because now it's sometimes an abuse of power. It feels like I'm above everybody. So what I say goes, doesn't matter how I say it or who I say it to. You take it. And
Yeah.
when you the person like me, ooh, no, we're gonna have a conversation.
Yes.
Yeah, I've had to tell some of the kind of people who thought that they represent me. I'm not the boss of the ministry anymore, so I can talk about this stuff. But even I think in any organization we build, I have to explain. I said, listen, you're not those people's boss. You didn't hire them. I did. You don't pay the salaries. I do. So you serve them.
Yes.
I'll make a request, and I mean, even when I chat to the staff, it's always a request. Is it possible? That's my question. Can you do that? I don't tell Mavis you will be. Yeah. What's that?
Can you please? You always. I think that was
Yes.
the most that's what made the relationships with other people a bit difficult, because even coming from you, you would say, can you please do this for me? But you know that person is the one who's taking care of you, so it's like, oh really? And then comes another person who's not really taking care of you, and then they want to be up there, and it's like, no, we don't work like that here, because obviously the culture
we
that has
don't.
been developed here is that it doesn't matter who you are, you speak to everybody nicely. We respect each other. And then when you come in and you are all bossy, yeah, it's not a corporate company.
Yeah, because that's not your authority, that's mine. You're you're conveying in an even nicer manner than me. The correct thing is like, Rev wants to know if it's possible. So I genuinely ask if it's possible, because I don't know what everybody's up to. Like, Mavis can be like super duper busy, and if she's not available for something, I'm not gonna like make her move her entire life around. Oh, what's the time? Have I got time for a pet peeve? Yeah, 7 minutes.
Go, I'll time you.
My pet peeve. Oh boy, I tell you, I just got to maintain my cool. When someone gives someone else money and they suddenly think that giving them that salary or whatever gives them some kind of power over that other person. That, like they can now treat people like trash, or use a particular tone of voice, or you know what I'm saying. It's like, somehow that money, that salary, makes you a god of some sort. I'm a strange guy, and I think a lot of our staff are like this, and a lot of our team are like this. If you tell us or else, we'll always take or else. If you say my way or the highway, we'll always take the highway.
Yes.
I
love
the
that.
highway. Yeah, I always take or else. If you tell me I expect this or else, I'm like, or else, please.
There's nothing.
We're done. Who are you to threaten me?
I love it.
Like, what are you? So like in the business circles where we work with, we mentor lots and lots of business folk and ministers and all that kind of thing. I say, I don't listen, if I hear you and I say, this is my or else, well, it's actually not an or else. It's just, we're in covenant with each other. We're friends. But here's the thing. Don't expect me to treat you in a way that is different to how you treat others.
Yes.
If I find out that you are paying people salaries, especially if we're supporting you, in the past and still now we support NGOs and stuff, we'll increase that again. But if I find out I'm being nice to you and you're not nice to other people, we're going to have a little conversation here. We're going to have a, the worst thing that you can ever hear from me, Ashley, is I'm disappointed in you. I don't shout at you.
I hope I don't do that.
So, I'm like, or I think the worst thing lately I say to people is, dude, that's not cool.
I like that. That's not cool.
Because again, like, let's go back to like this, because this literally, we'll go back to when people give us stipulated funding and stuff. We're literally doing a misappropriation of funds, where if you give me money to build something, I do something else with it. That's literally misappropriation of funds, right?
Yeah.
So now it's intentional or not. I know, because we're an NGO, that misappropriation occurs because we now got the money to do everything we can, but suddenly all these people need help. And we're like, okay, we're going to have to do this. And then instead of communicating with people who've given, this is the big mistake I made. Instead of communicating clearly with the people who have given us funds to build a thing, we just like get caught up in the fire killing and the panic and trying to help as many as we can. And it just looks, just so, it just looks bad. We busy with an internal audit right now I'm actually at that place where I'm like, okay, so we've handed over all the NGO stuff, and so we're doing an internal audit for like 6 years so that I can just not feel like I'm evil. Because this has now happened, and it happened in one case, and the guy said, "I'm so disappointed in you," and it hit me like a baseball bat, man, because I thought we're doing such good, and people are going to understand, and then I realized, when a good man or a good woman, they don't need to shout at you, they don't need to threaten you, they don't need to say anything terrible. They just express, listen, I expected more. And that is enough.
Yep.
So a great leader can whisper and things happen. The more you have to shout, scream, threaten, or else this way or the highway, the less effective you truly are. So in me learning stuff like and I'm always open about it, the reason that I'm so driven to make a success of these games, and the other things that we're doing is because I cannot be trusted not to help people. You literally cannot trust me not to help people.
Right.
Sorry, I think I'm gonna have to go out.
Okay, love you, Mavis.
Bye, Mavis.
Yeah, I think we all have to go, eh? Yeah, it's 28
Yeah,
minutes
it's
past. Awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't know. Did you get anything out of today, Ash, and anybody who's watching?
Of course. Always words of wisdom from you.
I think you
Our
understand our
insight.
little operation better, hey?
Yeah. Don't piss Uncle Funk off. That's what I got today.
No, that wasn't my objective.
I'm just kidding.
Somehow it always ends up like that. Our entire everybody just loves it when I get angry. I have no idea why.
No, you're good. You're good at what you do. I'm just kidding.
Oh boy.
It's funny. Yeah. No, I
Awesome,
liked
man.
it. It's been a good
Yeah.
week. We've had some good chats that have been, they could have been pretty heated, and I think they were good. I got some good insight out of it.
Oh,
been a
there's
good
no
week.
reason to get angry.
No.
Well, there are reasons, but none of them involve, a difference in opinion. There's
Right.
a lot of reasons to get angry, but anyway.
Well,
All right.
it's a good emotion to have. Just what you do with it.
Yes, don't weaponize it, utilize it.
Yes.
Yes, awesome. Well,
All
baie
right.
dankie Ashley, dit was lekker om jou hier op die webwerf uitsending te hê.
Yeah, that.
It's awesome to have you on the stream, and thank you to Maybe and to Kat who joined us.
Yeah.
And so it was a lot of fun. And for those of you watching today, we were just chatting about what drives us to do what we do, and we were chatting about Operation Safe Place, our actual on the ground NGO, and really what drives us to make this game and make it profitable, and why I'm so driven now to become a billionaire. Like, mark my words, this is we are going to make enough money to do whatever we need to, not some of
Yes.
what we need to, whatever we need to.
Love that.
Alrighty, thanks Ash, thanks everybody.
Yep. I'll see you later.
Toodles.
Toodles.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.